Try it one more time. Okay, there we go. The only thing he needed, the only thing we need is Jesus. We don't need anything else. There is nothing else in this world that we need than Jesus. That's all we need. And I want you to understand something. I want you to look here. This leper realized he needed Jesus. Before you can be saved, you have to realize you need Jesus. You have to come to that basic understanding, that basic realization that there is no other way for you to make it to heaven but Jesus Christ. Man, there's a lot of people out there think that if they follow a checkbox, they're going to make it in. There's a lot of people out there think that if they got enough money and give enough money to good causes, they can work their way into heaven. It doesn't work that way. God says we have to tell and believe in Jesus Christ. We have to have faith in Jesus. Jesus is the only way. You know, we must act. Here's this guy right here. Not only did he see Jesus, not only did he realize he needed Jesus, but he acted. He fell on his face and he cried out to Jesus. He said, Lord, you can heal me if you want to. Isn't that what we do when we come to him at the cross? We're full of an illness called sin. And we tell him, we implore him, Lord, you can heal me if you so wish. I believe that you can do this. And then we have to do something else. We have to surrender. Well, surrender what? Ourselves. We have to give ourselves up before we can be saved. There is no I in Jesus. If we want to be saved, we got to be willing to give up our wants, our desires, what we think, and start taking on Jesus wants, Jesus desires, and what Jesus thinks. You know, a lot of people don't like what would Jesus do. You got pastors that will preach against that. That's what we're supposed to do. Whenever we do anything, we should ask the question, what would Jesus do in this situation? Before we say something or do something. That's an accurate statement. I'm going to tell you, if I can live my life by what Jesus would do, that would be a powerful life. This leper, he knew that Jesus was the only way. So what did he do? He called out to him. He said, Lord, if you're willing. I mean, this guy, if he was full of leprosy, he was probably in the later stages. He probably wasn't a pretty sight to look at. He probably didn't smell very good. He probably was dirty and filthy. But he still cried out to Jesus because he recognized the one and the only one that could help him. And so he cried out to him. You see, he sought Jesus. Not only did he seek him, but when he saw him, he acted. He called out Jesus. He said, if you're willing, you can heal me. I'm a sinner. I need you. You know, sin is just like leprosy. It eats away at you. It destroys everything about you. People can live a good life. but they're never really happy. They're always looking for something else. They're never satisfied. And see, when he was caught, when Jesus healed him, Jesus said, I'm willing. And that's what he tells us at the cross. When we come to the cross, Jesus says, I'm willing to heal you. And then we are to obey him. He gave him a charge. 1, don't go spreading the word around. And 2, go to the priest and make an offering, as commanded by the Word of God. We are told, when we get saved, we're told to go and tell people. We're told to obey God, to follow him, to do what God tells us to do. But we must believe this leper right here, he believed Jesus could heal him. That's why Jesus healed him. We have to have faith that Jesus is going to save us. You know, what's really strange is that we have faith for Jesus to do the hardest job there is, to save us. But we can't put the faith in him to get us through each and every day. We worry about what other people think about us. Or how we're going to pay our bills. Or this or that. Instead of trusting him. Living by faith in him. We still want to hold on to some of the world. We still want to hold on to some of the stuff that we believed before we became Christians, before we believed in Jesus Christ. But Jesus says, surrender it all. Give it all up, let me wipe everything clean and start over. Let me make a new you. Let me create something special. Think about that for a moment. You are something special. Jesus wants to bring that out. He wants us to follow him no matter what, no matter where. He wants us to trust that he's going to get us through. That we're going to accomplish what he wants us to accomplish. You know, this is probably what a lot of people don't want to hear. But in death, Charlie Kirk is probably more powerful than he ever was in life. More people are coming out and speaking because of that. Liberals are turning on their own party. Man, I'm going to tell you what. The LBG had broken away from the GBTs or whatever they are and formed their own group. They said they're tired of it. I like fell out of my chair when I saw that the other day. I'm telling you, this is a time period to be excited about. This is a time period we really need to step up, step out, and do what God has called us to do. Because, like this leper right here, Jesus heals us of all things. Most of our problems that we have stem from one thing: sin. Jesus heals us from that. And this man right here is an example of wanting it. He fell on his face. He begged Christ to heal him. When he saw him, he didn't hesitate. He didn't say, should I? All these people are around. Do I need to keep my mouth shut? No, this man was at the very bottom. He had no other hope. and he went for it. Wholeheartedly. It was his desire. Serving God must be our desire. We must desire to serve him. He will empower us if we let him. He's not going to force anybody. But when you surrender, when you say, Lord, I'll do it, he will empower you and make you able to carry out the mission he has for you. And what that means is it's got to be all we want. Our desire has to be that we want to serve God and nothing else. Too often, we make choices. Well, do I want to go to church? Or do I need to do this? Do I need to go help this person? We make choices. And I'm telling you, if the thought comes up, well, I need to go do this, guess what? That's what we need to go do. When we have to sit there and start making excuses of why we can't do something, we're trying to follow our own desires and not God's desires. We know right from wrong because God has given us that ability. He's given us that discernment. But when we don't do what we know we're supposed to do, we're listening to Satan in our ear. He's whispering to us. He's talking to us. And we're buying into it because you know what? It's easier. It's easier not doing work than it is working. We just simply need to accept what God has told us to do. We must recognize our inability. We're ill, as this leper was ill. We are ill. Sin is about the same thing as leprosy. It makes us sick. It makes us weak. When we don't follow God and when we don't partake of his meal, we are physically and spiritually weak when we walk out of here. When we go through the week without thinking about God, we are weak. I tell you what, try not eating for a week. See how it works out for you. It won't last long. We must obey. We must do what God says to do. Not just one time. Just getting up out of your seat, coming down here to the altar, all teary-eyed and snotty-nosed. And I'm done. One and done. No. If you read this book, you will see that those who serve God work every day. They are obeying God daily. And here is the thing. I told you a while ago that God empowers us. He gives us the authority to go out and speak in his name. When we surrender and when we obey and do what God tells us to do, when we go forth in the authority of God. To give you an example, help you better understand what that means. Think about this. In the military, you got generals, you have colonels, you have majors, you have captains, you have lieutenants, first lieutenants and second lieutenants. You have PFC sergeants, a whole rank of sergeants, master sergeants, chief master sergeant, sergeant first class, on down. You have a PFC and a private. Each one of those ranks has different authority. The higher up you go, the more authority you gain, the more responsibility. Same thing in God's army. The more we're willing to obey, the more we're willing to surrender, the more we're willing to follow the commandments of God, the more authority He empowers us with. That we can go out and tell people. And that's what He commands us to do. Very simple. Everybody, this is real simple. God tells us to become more like Jesus daily. More like Jesus daily. That's a powerful statement. God says, look, I know you're human. I know you have a sin nature. But I'm telling you right now, you can become more like Jesus every day. And here's the reason why. I have adopted you. You are now my child. I have given you my Holy Spirit. I'm residing in you. So you don't have to follow the world. You don't have to give in. You have the authority to overcome. You have the ability to overcome because I am with you. Think about that. God is with you. You're not alone. God has prepared you for whatever He's called you to do. You're not going in there blind. You may feel like you're going in there blind, but He's prepared you for every step of the way, for every problem that comes. And He already knows what problems they are, and He's already there. Think about that for a moment. All you got to do is just show up. God's got it done already. And here's this guy right here. Hopeless. They had no cure for leprosy back then. It ran its course. And you eventually died from it. Horrible death. He was hopeless. Then he saw his hope. And he could have sat there and watched his hope walk by. He could have sat there and said, no, he won't talk to me, or the crowd won't let me in there. I promise you, somebody was left to come walking up to a crowd. You know what's fixing to happen? Whoosh! They're going to scatter. But he could have said that. He could have made excuses to why he could not go to Jesus. When the world fails you, what do? See, the world has failed this guy. He had no home. More than likely, like I said, his family had done abandon him. The community's done abandon him. He was living in the woods. The world done wrote him off. What did he do? He didn't hide. He didn't complain. He didn't give up. He didn't say, whoa, woe is me. I got it worse than anybody else. When he saw his hope, did he give up and just simply die? Or did he seek him? Did he seek him out? He called out to him. He implored him. Lord, you can heal me if you're willing. How willing was Jesus? He went on the cross. That's how willing he is. Just as this leper saw his only hope, so too is Jesus our only hope. There is no other hope than Jesus. Only He died for us. Only He said, I'm willing to be the sacrifice. I'm willing to give up my life for them. No one else said that. Only He has the ability, the power and the authority to save us. In all truth, He is only one that can help us. There are a lot of people that we walk around every day, that we meet, that we talk to, that are hopeless, that are helpless, that are sick. And there is no cure that man has for their condition. The only hope, the only cure they have is Jesus Christ. And you're the voice in the wilderness to tell them. Are you willing to speak? Are you willing to seek them out? Are you willing to tell? The harvest is ripe, and the harvest is great. Are you ready to go reap? The season is now. Time to put on your farmer's hat and go out and gather the crop. What are we singing?
Only trust Him on page 317.
Only